Hello. Um, come online. Uh, it's not showing. We don't have the camera. My goodness. Okay. We are live. Please invite friends and family. We are live. Sorry that we came late. Those on YouTube, we please want to apologize for coming late. It was because of some logistics. Bring your friends and family. We are live again today to continue our Monday teaching. We are live and we implore you to invite friends and family. Yes, share the video. Let your friends, let the family members join the live. Share the live broadcast. It's Dave Nwanepe's teaching on Mondays, a series that will be running every Monday and Wednesday. Sorry we came late today. We came late because of some logistic challenges. We want to plead with you, it won't happen again. Today we intend to kind of take some live phone calls. We will give out a number for those who want to call a WhatsApp number. So they can actually call the WhatsApp number. So come in. Log on, and we are here for you. Share the live broadcast. We are here for the teaching as agreed. Sorry, it was supposed to be by 4 p.m., but due to some logistics, we aren't able to meet up with that. So share the broadcast, let your friends come. We are live again. So we'll be giving out a number today so people can call. Share the live broadcast. We are live again. So at one point, we will ask people to call. Yes, we are live. I don't know how many people that are online. We are waiting for people to join. We will be discussing forgiveness and rebuilding trust after betrayal in marriage. Forgiveness and rebuilding trust after betrayal in marriage. But we want more people to join the live section before we proceed. Share the video, let friends and family join. Let's share the video. And also to let you know that we will be opening our phone line today so people can make their contribution. Share the video. The topic today is forgiveness in marriage. So we'll be discussing forgiveness in marriage. A very, very important topic in our society, in our modern day society. Because we have a lot of problem in marriages. So many marriages are broken, even Christian marriages. The church is even suffering it because not even Christian marriages last these days. After wedding, marriages, some of them don't last after 2 years. Because of what we are discussing now, unforgiveness in marriage. Unforgiveness in marriage is a serious problem. So after we will have a conversation, we allow people to call in and make their own suggestions. So we are trying to get our phone line on so that we will be able to make contributions in today's conversation. So share the live broadcast. We are still here waiting for people to join our live. Share the live broadcast is here. Forgiveness in marriage. So that is our topic. Forgiveness in marriage. So I don't know who is online, but let people come online so we can discuss. The number would just be WhatsApp only. So we'll open our WhatsApp number today, but before then, we want you to share the live broadcast. Let people join. Join the live broadcast. Okay, let's start. Let us pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, we are very grateful today because of our online teaching. Thank you, Lord, for what you have been able to use all of us to do. For those in a country where it is now night, Lord, grant them good evening and good rest. For those that are still working in their working hours like those of us over here, give us the grace too. In Jesus' name, amen. So, friends, we want to discuss rebuilding trust after betrayal in marriage. Many marriages are broken, not because the two people did not love themselves. And as Christians and even Anglicans, we oftentimes see that marriages are no longer last the way they should last. For some reason, betrayal is the major reason or the major problem in broken marriages today. Betrayal. And that is what we want to discuss today. Betrayal in marriage, whether through infidelity, broken promises, or emotional decays, can deeply wound both partners. For Christian couples, the call to forgive can feel very, very discomforting, but it is rooted in the core principles of the Bible. Here are key elements involving forgiveness and rebuilding of trust after broken trust. Brothers, first, in marriage today, especially in our context, betrayal of partners is on the rise. Betrayals of partners is on the rise. So I don't know why our society have turned this way. I don't know why it is difficult in our time now that partners no longer trust themselves. Couples don't trust each other anymore because either the husband betrays the wife or the wife betrays the husband, especially now that the economy is becoming very difficult. We have discovered that betrayal is on the rise in marriage. Many Christian marriages are broken. And we are going to talk about broken or breakdown in relationship. What could cause a breakdown in relationship? But of all that we are discussing today, one of the major reasons for divorce is lack of trust and betrayals in marriage. And we are going to talk about it. And lack of forgiveness. A lot of times you have problem with your spouse, but your inability to forgive your spouse will definitely lead to divorce. If you are not able to forgive your spouse, divorce is inevitable. Forgiveness is also very difficult. I want us to face the reality of life. I don't want us to sound only Christian this evening. I want us to look at things from every perspective. If you have a comment or a contribution, don't worry, we'll open a WhatsApp line very soon. You can call in and make your own contribution. But what I think is that forgiveness should be one of the major things that Christians will consider. And how? Especially Anglican Christians. Biblical foundation. Forgiveness is the center of Christian faith. In Ephesians chapter 4 verse 32 and Colossians chapter 3 verse 13, it is not something we can overlook. It is not condemning the wrong, but choose to let go of bitterness and of grace of God to forgive. Brothers, forgiveness is something that is very difficult. Not many people see forgiveness as a necessity. But as a Christian and as an Anglican, it is very obvious that it is only through forgiveness that we can live in a healthy relationship. So the number one key point of rebuilding a broken marriage will be to forgive. But how? It is difficult to forgive when a husband have abandoned you and the children for another woman for many years. The question will be, how do you forgive a man like that? Another question will arise when a husband have betrayed you because of his family. We are going to discuss about how it works with family. Sometimes family members are also part of the problem we are discussing tonight. So as Christians, we'll be looking at the wife or the husband forgiving each other. But of all that is more important is we will be looking more at those who influence problems in marriages, those who cause problems in marriages. Number one, today we'll be talking about those who betray people in marriage would be family members. A lot of times, family members are a major problem in marriages. When couples get married, it is very wrong for family members to step in at the early stage of marriage. Let them make their mistakes. Let the couples make their mistakes. They will correct each other. Mother-in-law, sister-in-laws, friend-in-laws. It is always good to leave this family to make their mistakes, especially young families. No matter, even if they are Christians or not Christians, once two people have come together to live as one, please let them learn each other on their own. Let them discover their weaknesses. Let them discover their strength. Leave them alone at the early stage of marriage. One of the major problems that we have today is that mother-in-laws, father-in-laws, brother-in-laws, they step into marriages too early. And either they don't like the woman that was married, or they have some reservation about them. And this could cause breakdown in marriage. Another thing that could cause breakdown in marriage is insincerity. When the couple are insincere to each other, where they don't tell each other the truth, there is always every tendency that there will be a breakdown in relationship. Another thing that could cause breakdown in relationship is infidelity. Infidelity. So if the husband is the type that sleeps around, or the wife is the type that also sleeps around, this could bring breakdown in relationship. Lack of communication is also one of the reasons why marriages today are collapsing. Then lack of exposure of the both partners could also lead to broken relationship. So today we are discussing broken relationship and broken marriages. Broken marriages, these things that I mentioned are one of the reasons why marriages fail. Marriages fail because partners don't tell each other the truth. There's no truth in relationship. Marriages fail because of infidelity. Marriages fail because of family members. Marriages fail because of selfishness of partner. One partner becomes too selfish, and the partner is only for themselves, it could break down in relationship. It could bring breakdown in relationship. So today we are going to talk about how to rebuild this broken trust. Trust, marriage is always on trust. Let me tell you why marriage is on trust. You meet a young man, you don't even know this person. But out of trust, you have come to live together. Both of you have agreed to be together. And you are now living as husband and wife, even though from birth you didn't know each other. The trust that this person will take care of you, that trust should be held to a very high esteem. Yes. The trust that my partner will hold on to me for life, live with me forever and ever. That trust that begins a union should be respected. A lot of times, people don't respect that trust, especially when it's coming from only one person. It's only one person that is trusting the other one in the relationship. It could bring breakdown in relationship. So, but to rebuild trust in a broken relationship already, you need forgiveness. And we've mentioned that forgiveness is not an easy thing. Understanding forgiveness, it will be to forgive and forget. But I want to tell you my feelings. Even when you say you have forgotten, no adult forgets what was done to them. Let's be realistic. Let's leave all this talk that he has forgiven, forgive and forget. Forgive and forget is not real. Forgive and forget is not real. But forgive is true. Forgiving is true. But forgetting is difficult. Because we are human. We are made up of conscience. We have subconscious mind. We tend to remember things. We are always there to remember the wrongs that people have done to us. So forgiving people is okay, but forgetting is difficult. So I will plead with partners to be careful when they hurt their partners. It's not always easy to forget. They may forgive, but they will not forget. That is why when you keep hurting your partner, at one point, that partner will develop hatred. If you want to lose your wife, keep hurting your wife. If you want to lose your husband, keep hurting your husband. Keep saying derogatory words to them. Keep calling them good for nothing. Very soon you will be without a husband. I'm telling you from experience. I'm telling you from knowledge. Wisdom will tell you, simple wisdom will tell you that if you call your partner names every day, you call them good for nothing, sooner or later, the marriage will be broken. So forgiving is very, very difficult to forgive, but people do forgive. But the one that is almost like a fallacy is forgetting. Let me tell you, the person who offended you may forget, but the offended will not forget. The person who betrayed you may forget, but the person that was betrayed will hardly forget. So, but you need forgiveness and forgetting the past. So, one of the steps, step one is don't hurt people unknowingly. But can you avoid hurting people? No, you can't avoid it. But when you hurt people, please ask for forgiveness. Don't be too proud in a relationship. If you are in a relationship with your spouse, don't be too proud. Be humble to say, I am sorry. I am sorry can heal relationships. I am sorry can heal broken marriages. I am sorry can change a lot of things. Do not always claim right. When you are wrong, say I am wrong. When you are wrong, always acknowledge your wrongs. Don't always stand like I am right all the time. Nobody can be Mr. Right. So we say number one will be forgiveness. Step two will be repentance and being accountable. Accountability is very important. Be accountable to your spouse. Make sure as a Christian that both of you will have nothing to hide. Marriages See, betrayal of trust is when you have something to hide. When one partner really has something to hide, it brings betrayal in marriage. Do not hide things for your partner. Be honest to them. Be open to them. Let them know what you have. If you are a woman and you make more money than your husband, please let your husband know what you make. If you hide things for him or her, at one point, betrayal will set in and distrust will set in. So you don't want to be in that situation where you are distrust, while your partner considers you as a dishonest person. It's going to break down your relationship. So, but rebuilding trust is one of the things you must do to rebuild trust is transparency. Consistency and transparency. If you want to rebuild, if you have at one point deceived your husband, one of the things you will do will be to be transparent and be honest. Another thing to do is to be patient and give time to everything. Be patient and give time to everything. There are marriages that are broken because both partners refuse to be open to each other. So you have to establish trust, establish patience and time, give time to everything. To rebuild trust, you need time. You need time, okay? You need time to rebuild trust. You need time. So give time to everything, and that will help us to rebuild a broken relationship. So set boundaries in relationship. If you know what your partner don't like, please set boundaries. Don't always go in excess. You know what your husband don't like. You know what your wife dislike. Please set boundaries. Don't always go in thinking that you can have it every time you want it, or you can say things every time. Another way to rebuild broken relationships and rebuild trust in relationship will be in having intimacy. Because of Facebook policies, we may not be mentioning certain words, but let me say, husband and wife must be intimate. You must be having intimacy regularly. So it also helps to bring both of you together. It helps to keep you together. Long distance relationship is a problem. Wednesday, we are going to talk about the challenges of long distance relationship. So it is very wrong to marry a wife and you live in Jamaica and your wife lives in America. You live in Nigeria, your wife lives in London. There is always distrust. It will set in. It may not, you guys may not feel it at the beginning, but along the line, if you participate in long distance relationship, it's going to break your relationship. There will be breakdown of relationship if you continue to live apart. So living apart is a problem in relationship. You must live with your wife. Don't live at Owerri and your wife is living in Port Harcourt. Your people will have problems sooner or later. Because at one point, your wife will also see people that are better than you, more educated than you, and somebody might be forming to be close to them, to show them care. And you know we are human. Let's face the fact, even as Christians, if somebody starts showing affection to your wife, sooner or later she will start falling for the person, and that could bring betrayal in relationship. So live together with your spouse if you want to keep your spouse forever. If you want the relationship to last, live together and do things together. Share your secret and set boundaries. Set boundaries. Respect your husband's boundary. If he says, "Oh, I don't like people to touch my shoes," please don't touch his shoes. If your wife says, "Oh, I don't like you to eat with a broken plate," please, I respect that. Whatever that is their policy, please respect it. That will help you to keep a healthy marriage. So keeping healthy marriage is very important. And to keep that, you will have to be involved in these things. Emotional intimacy. Be emotionally attracted to your wife. There's a problem in the modern age. More families, you will find a wife, before she got married, she was dressing very well. She was looking very sweet. Once she has 1 or 2 babies, she is now very careless. There are men who do not keep themselves clean again because they are married. The law of marriage does not ask you not to wash your boxers and be smelling, not to use roll-on. There are men, when they sit by you, you can't even breathe. And yet, their wife might be the neat type, but they are dirty. And this woman is suffering in silence. So these are the things that could bring breakdown in relationship. But there are ways, there are remedy. As Christians, when your marriage starts failing, call on God by prayer and facing everything. Bring the scripture into your marriage, but don't bring your pastor first. Your pastor is not the first point of contact when your marriage starts breaking. Yes, I dislike it when marriages start having problems and couples will rush to the parish house to complain to the priest. The priest is not the first point of contact in when your marriages are failing. Learn to talk it out with your spouse first before bringing a third party. You cannot bring a third party into a relationship that you have not discussed with your spouse. So if you want a healthy relationship, please make sure you get your spouse involved when there is crisis. Now, I will be opening our phone line for those who want to call in on WhatsApp. We will take WhatsApp call. Because we are streaming live with a device, we may not have enough time to bring people on live on. But if they permit us, we will do that. But you also have the phone line, WhatsApp line, only WhatsApp. This line only takes WhatsApp. So for those who want to call in and make their contribution or ask questions or be part of the program live, we are live now. So if you want to be part of this program live, you can look at the screen now. There's a phone line. So if you want to call in, you can call in. So, yes, thank you, Roland. We'll also be reading out what people write, but you have the option today to call in on a phone line. And we will mention where you are calling from so we can have a conversation. What do you think? What do you think causes broken relationship? Why are marriages breaking? Why are Christians breaking their marriage? Why are 2 years, 1 month old relationship getting broken? So we have opened the phone line. You are free to call. Okay, thank you, Roland. Roland says, I like this. I love this section. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for liking the section. The section is all about rebuilding trust in marriage. Even as Christians, we have every duty to rebuild trust in marriages. Marriages are failing. Thank you. Judith says, good to see you, Venerable. Thank you too, Judith. Thank you for seeing me. Thank you. It's also good. I see Blessing. See Oswago. Blessing. Thank you. Mama Ejima. Mama Forplet. Thank you for joining. Roland. Thank you. Miriam. Thank you. Engineer Victor. Thank you. So, okay, we are open for those who want to call in or those who want to be part of the program live. Oh, Reverend Ugochukwu. Mufo. Okay, thank you. I see those of you online. So what we discussed today in our Monday teaching is actually relationship, Christian relationship, that forgiveness and rebuilding trust after betrayal in marriage. What are those things that could cause betrayal? And what do you think that cannot be forgiven in relationship? You can let us know. So we are waiting. You can let us know what you think we cannot forgive in relationship. What is that thing? Feel free to call in. We are waiting. Okay, Engineer Victor says it's easy to forgive, but very hard to forget. Yes, that's what I said during my teaching. It's easy to forgive as a Christian, but almost very impossible to forget. I made mention, even though we will preach it, even though we tell people, but it is not always easy. It's not always easy to forget. It's difficult. So we are discussing rebuilding trust after betrayal in marriage. So for those who are joining now, you are welcome to call in. We just open our phone line and we are waiting for the first caller to call and tell us what they think about rebuilding trust. Just WhatsApp. This line is just WhatsApp. We are only taking WhatsApp calls. We are not taking the regular phone calls because then it's going to be an international charge. So, but with WhatsApp, it's usually very simple. So if you call in, we'll mention your name, tell us where you are calling from, and tell us what you think about betrayal. Or do you have a contribution to make? Or you can type your questions out. We will also read them. Or your own contribution if you have time to do so. That will help us. So we are still waiting. So the topic today is one topic that is very relevant in our society. Okay, please, sir. Please, sir, how can one rebuild trust after infidelity, dishonesty, or betrayal? Roland, it's a difficult thing, you know. But like I mentioned during my teaching, I said to rebuild trust after infidelity, betrayal, and dishonesty. To be honest with you, any marriage that the partners are dishonest to each other usually don't last. One of the bedrocks of relationship is trust. If you don't trust your partner, if your partner always tells you lie, that family relationship is heading towards total destruction. If you if you are not honest with your partner. And to be honest, infidelity is another one that is very difficult. But rebuilding trust, I mentioned forgiveness. You'll be able to ask for forgiveness. I mentioned getting emotional healing by talking to a therapist, talking to a sincere pastor. Why I don't really recommend starting with pastors is that a lot of times, if your marriage is collapsing and you bring in the third party first, that relationship usually breaks easily. I'm one person who will recommend that you will first of all talk with your partner, discuss with your partner, try to talk it out yourself, both of you. Don't bring in third people. Don't bring in third party first. Don't bring in third party. It's not always good to rush to your pastor to complain about your wife. The marriage will break. Because then your pastor will not, there are things you will not even tell your pastor. Trust me. There are things you may not tell your pastor. Your pastor may think that he is doing good for stepping in. But a lot of times, he's not actually doing you any good for stepping in, because his stepping in could be one of the things that will finally break that relationship. So unless you guys have tried to sort it out yourself and it's not working, then you can bring in your spiritual director, or you can see a therapist or a marriage expert to talk to you about your relationship with your partner. But betrayal, first, I said one of the ways to handle it will be forgiving your spouse. Another way to handle it will be being honest to each other. Those things that you didn't do right the last time, don't repeat them again. Don't repeat them again. Be honest. Honesty is the key. One of the major reasons and one of the major things we must do as Christians would be being honest. Honesty is very, very important in our walk with God. So walking with God, we are looking at honesty. We are looking at somebody who will be honest to God and honest to the partner. That's how to live a healthy, how to live healthy in relationship. Okay. Okay, thank you, my brother. Where are you calling from? Hello? Yes, we are here.
Daddy?
Yes, what's the name?
This is Engineer Victor.
Okay, Engineer Victor, thank you for calling. Engineer Victor, what's your contribution?
My own contribution, like I said before, is very easy. It's very easy to forgive.
Go ahead.
It's kind of very easy to forgive, but very hard to forget because of the memories. When you kind of see the person, or when the person try to behave something again, or as in repeatedly of what he or she did before, you kind of remember the previous things.
Yes, I agree with you. Go ahead.
Sometimes the other thing that I want to ask, how can someone bring back or build back the trust? Trust. Like when you trust someone and person betrayed, how can you rebuild the trust again is a question I want to ask.
So we'll be very honest in this show.
Can do.
Yes, Engineer Victor, we'll be very honest in this show. We will tell ourselves the truth. When somebody betrays you the first time or plays a distrust attitude the first time, you may forgive the first time, or you may try to bring the person back. When it's a consistent behavior, there's no remedy. That relationship will break. No relationship thrives in there's no. Let's remove being too sentimental or too religious in this program. I want us to be very honest. If the person betrays you the first time, you manage to forgive as a Christian. In fact, there was a time somebody came to me and said, she came and confessed and said, I confessed to my husband that I slept with somebody. My husband forgave me. And when that happened, he used it against me forever and ever. I laughed and I said to that person, your husband will use it against you. There are things you will do if the man used to trust you and all of a sudden you are telling him a story. He may not forgive you. He may forgive you, but will torture you. Will torture you for life with that kind of. I used to tell people, it's not every restitution that you must do. Oh yes, there are restitutions you will do. Your marriage will break forever and ever and ever and ever.
Yes.
There are some restitutions that once you say it, just count it that your marriage is gone. Do you understand what I mean, Engineer Victor?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So there are restitutions you will do. Your marriage is broken forever and ever. So there are things I advise people, die with it. Honest mistakes that you will only tell God. Honest mistakes that you will only confess to God. Because if you venture tell your husband or your partner or your wife, that marriage will forever and ever go. But again, somebody will say, if you don't tell them, Is that not being betrayal? Are you not betraying them? It's very dicey, yes. But you can rebuild trust by saying what you mean and doing what you mean. What you say is what you do. Maybe let the person know that you made mistake the first time and promise them that you will never do it again and stand by it. If they look at you for period of some time and they discover that you are not shaking, you are being honest to your honesty to what you said, they will forgive you. But the tormenting may last for a while in relationship. The tormenting may last for a while, but they will forgive you. I don't know if I make a point.
Yes, sir, you did. Thank
Okay, Judith Chinonyerenweze, she put out a statement, so I'm going to read her statement, but she's also free to call. The line is open for people to call in and make their own contribution. Thank you. I think forgiveness and forgetting should be part of marital vow. No marriage is perfect. Clergymen should include it in marriage vows so that couples can take it seriously. Wow, Judith, I like your comment too. But to be honest with you, Judith, if we incorporate forgive, is there now? When we say for better, for worse, what do you mean that the worst is? It's already in the liturgy, but this is like a reality show. When you could say forgiveness, I have forgiven you. It only takes a man with the fear of God to forgive and forget. If you have listened very well when we were teaching, we said that forgiving is very okay. It's very common. It's very simple to forgive. But what we are saying is forgetting. Because we are human, because we still live in the flesh, there is still every tendency that if you still do that things that are close to that thing, their partner will remember. That's what we are saying. If you do things again that are close to that behavior, your partner will remember. So he may forgive you, but he will not forget. It is not very common to say, I have to err is human. To forgive is divine. What do you understand by that word? It's a very difficult word. That you are saying that divine, it is the divinity force that forgives, that forgets. So even when people try to say they have forgotten, Judith, they have not forgotten. Because you will still see. And I said there are some things you cannot confess to your husband. That's what I said. There are things. If you have done some grievous things and you have watched your husband's temperament, and his temperament is not the forgiving and forgetting type, die with that secret. Restitute with God. Restitute with God. Promise yourself never to go back to such life again. But if you look at some confessions are the things that led to the broken relationship. Because it's not everybody that have the strength to handle confession. It's not everybody that can handle confession. I don't care what modern day preachers tell you, but the truth is that it's not every mind that handles a confession. So if you are confessing, before you confess, make sure you know your partner. So Judith, I don't know. You said the church actually should make it as marital vows. The church is not encouraging you to go and betray your husband. Neither is the church encouraging you to go and be infidel. The church is not encouraging you to disrespect your spouse. So the church have already told you during counseling the things to do and the things not to do. While I was teaching, the place of the church in marriage is the third place. It's not the second place. Marriage is between a man and a woman. Then the church is like a witness. There are a lot of things, even if the church includes it in their vow. I put it to you, Judith. It will not still heal the wound. It will not still heal the wound. Even if we include it in our vow, it will not still heal the wound. So lack of moral and provisions, lack of respect and love. I agree with you, Map. I agree. Trust me. Lack of respect is also another thing that breaks marriages. Lack of respect. Okay, we got another. Is that a question? Rosalind Dooms. To be honest, if you have been there before, it is not easy to forgive. But if you find yourself in that situation, you should ask God to help you so you can forgive and heal. Thank you for a wonderful comment. You see, everything we are discussing now, you won't feel it. You don't know how it feels. It's only those that have been there will tell you how it feels. It is not easy. People will say, the church will always say, go and forgive your husband. Are you forgiving a man who left you when your marriage was 2 years? He traveled to Varandapo. Let me give you a scenario. You got married to a man. He left you and traveled to Varandapo. Never cared about you. Never supported you. You raised your children all alone. He got to Varandapo and got married to another woman and started raising another family. After 15 or 20 years, he is now sick. He walks back with the illness and he's now back to the first wife. With the child, he or she left for the wife many years back, like 20 years back, and he walks in and says, forgive me. The church will say, forgive me. But it is difficult. That's what we are saying. So it is only the grace of God that could cause one to forgive. So this is what we are teaching today. We are saying the place of forgiveness is there, but to forget is difficult. So we also said there are some restitutions you cannot make in marriage. That we said if you make such restitutions, that your marriage will be broken for life. Whether, I don't care what people say, but that the line is open for those who want to call in and make their contribution. Thank you, Engineer Victor, for calling in. We appreciate you. We really, really appreciate the call. So the line is 070-3834-2610. 070-3834-2610. We will be taking live phone calls in this program for those who want to make their contributions while we are online. Okay, quick one. Thank you, sir, for your insightful teachings on relationship. Your guidance have been priceless. I appreciate your wisdom, sir. God bless you. Thank you too, Roland. I appreciate you coming online every time to listen to us. More grace, Venerable Chooks. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. I'm very grateful. I also think in marriage, women should tend to forgive and forget more than men. When men admits to cheat on his wife, he will appraise her wife and it ends there. But the other way around is very difficult. So the men find it difficult to let go. This have led to marriage breaking up. Oh, yes, I agree with you, Chinonye. Chinonye, I agree with you. This is one of the major reasons. Now, as Africans, African men have this ego. We are egocentric in nature. African men have ego. We are egocentric. And again, cultural values. Like here, a white woman will divorce you with the next minute, in the next second. So Judith, what you are writing now is in the African context. The men will always cheat and come back and say, I'm sorry. And the customs and tradition demands that the wife will always, in fact, the family and pair family will force you to forgive. Yes, they say, okay, there's these useless words we say all the time. He's a man. He's a man. Men are polygamous in nature. Men can cheat. So therefore, let the man cheat and he will be forgiven. But when he's a woman, I want to let you know that it's a cultural thing. They will tell you our culture do not allow it. But for those in the West, once you cheat, a white woman or an American will walk away from the relationship the next minute. So, Judith, I agree with you. But having said that, we are pleading with our men and our friends to always think about forgiving their partners. Nobody is perfect. There's no perfect relationship anywhere. There is only perfect God, no perfect human. The only thing that is perfect is God. Humans are not perfect. Again, remember that you guys are two different individuals from different homes. Two different individuals from different backgrounds. Two different individuals from different countries, sometimes different ethnic groups, sometimes different villages or different families. We were not born from the same home. You will definitely have different ideologies about it. Let me cite example. There are some homes where they like to eat together. And there are some homes when they were born, they were taught to eat separately. There are homes when there is okay if they go out and stay till evening. I mean, they stay late at night outside. Still, when they come, their parents don't get mad. But there are also homes, if you go out, you must come back before it is 6 p.m. So people grew up from different backgrounds. And so it affects us too. So we have different setting. So because of the different setting and different backgrounds that we have, it tends to affect relationship a lot. But what we are saying today is there is need to forgive. There is need to rebuild trust after it's broken. But we are saying that rebuilding that trust will depend on the person that offended the other partner. To rebuild trust, it depends on how you are going to handle. One, be humble about your mistake. One of the major problems we have today is that people are never humble about their mistakes. If you offended your wife, why not say I'm sorry? Is anything there to say I'm sorry? She will forgive you, but some men will never admit fault, even when they are caught. Even when they are caught. Some women will never admit fault, even when the man have finally discovered that you are cheating and he is just pretending. You are still telling lies. So if you have done anything wrong, be honest to say, I am sorry. Be honest to say, I'm sorry. There's always room for forgiveness when we confess to what we have done wrongly. Let us take another question. Setting every little dispute, quarrel indoors without letting others to know about it. None letting it to sleep over the day. Yes, I agree. I have said it before now. I said that we must learn to settle issues within ourselves. Don't rush to the parsonage. Don't rush to your bishop. Don't rush to your pastor to tell them your marital challenges. First of all, start dealing with it yourself. Now, the first one will be know that you have vowed to live with this man forever and ever. Just have it in your mind that the line is open for those who want to call WhatsApp. The line is open. We are taking phone calls today for those who want to do a WhatsApp. But despite that, if you are comfortable writing your questions, we will still read it out and handle it. So don't rush first to your pastor. Your pastor is not the first point of contact to fix your relationship. Your pastor will not be the first point. The first point would be the both of you going inside, sitting inside to talk about your differences. So this is about settling disputes in relationship and forgiving and being accountable. Be patient. We talked about sincerity, honesty. If you have betrayed your partner one time, try to be honest the second time. And if you're honest the second time, keep to it. Let that honesty last for a while. He will trust you again. But if you tell lies today, he forgives you. You tell lies tomorrow, he forgives you. You do something again next tomorrow. At one point, that relationship will be broken. So we are taking from Olulakin. But don't you think when forgiveness after loss of trust due to infidelity and extramarital affairs become too frequent, it makes the other spouse get less interest in the relationship? This way leads to divorce. Yes, of course, we have said it here. If you catch your wife with another man today, after preaching in the church, you forgave your wife. Next tomorrow, you catch her again with Tom. The other day, you catch her again with Dick. Or the other day, you catch her again with Thomas. Definitely, that marriage will be broken. No pastor can even heal it. No matter what, even if we are preaching, we are human now. We are human. No matter what we preach, we are human. So, it's better not to get into that. Don't get into that, because if you get into that, you may not come out of it. So infidelity is a serious challenge in relationship. So let's get it very clear that infidelity can cause broken marriage. A lot of times, the reason why marriages are broken is because of infidelity. So, I agree. Okay, Miriam says, very interesting topic. Well done, sir. Thank you, Miriam. I appreciate you for being part of the program today. We have just few minutes to end the live section. We are still waiting for questions or contributions. If you want to send in your question, let us know. If you want to make your contributions, let us know. You are also free to call in. I am enjoying your teaching. Thank you, Bright Ifunanya. Thank you, my dear. Forgiveness is inevitable in relationship. We must keep forgiving. But at one point, you cannot continue to forgive now. At one point, you cannot continue. It is either to rebuild trust. We are saying that the person must stop. You cannot be insane and you are also proud. You cannot betray somebody today, betray the person tomorrow, betray the person. We are human. Even though the church teaches us to forgive, but we should also help ourselves and help our partners, because you also know that they are human. That's the simple truth. Our partners are human. So, men, know that there is lapstick to everything. Nothing is permanent. If you are forgiving somebody today, forgive them tomorrow. The church and the Bible encourages you to keep forgiving, but you are human nature. At one point will rise. But above all, we will try to work to control our human nature. Controlling our human nature will be to ask Christ to come into your own relationship. So that will be the only thing that heals the problem. So we have about 3 minutes to go, and we want to use the 3 minutes now to talk about a few of our church fathers. And these church fathers we are going to be celebrating would be, let's celebrate Right Reverend Ken Okeke, the retired bishop on the Niger. Right Reverend Ken Okeke, it was actually my bishop, the bishop that employed me. Right Reverend Okeke hails from Oketiti in Anambra State. He was the bishop on the Niger from 2000 to 2010 when he retired. He was an evangelist during his time. During his tenure, he made a lot of progress in church planting and evangelism. Bishop Okeke was a church planter. He worked so hard during his time. So today, we dedicate one of our teachings today to celebrating Bishop Ken Okeke. Bishop Okeke had a very strong bishop's wife as a wife. Mama Nobioma. Nobioma was one of the strongest bishop's wife at the time when we were working. So today we chose to celebrate Bishop Okeke. Bishop Okeke has retired and he is not tired. Thank God and thank God who used you in Diocese on the Niger. We also celebrate Bishop Otubelu. Bishop Otubelu also was the first bishop of Enugu Diocese. He is actually from Anambra State. He is the pioneer bishop of Enugu Diocese. During his time, he was also accused, like Baba Nekwema, of not being evangelical, but he was a theologian par excellence. He was a man that preached the gospel fearlessly. A man we will always remember his legacies. We are also celebrating Bishop Cyril Okorocha. Bishop Cyril Okorocha is the retired bishop of Owerri. I think the third bishop of Owerri. He took over from Bishop Mwankete. He served until I think 2000 and just of late, I forgot the year, but not too long that he retired, about 5-6 years now. During his time, he brought in evangelism in a very strong manner. He preached the gospel fearlessly. He came from the UK and brought the British style of leadership. Today we celebrate these fathers, we celebrate these heroes of our church, but above all, we cannot mention less of Holy Nweje. People don't know that Holy Nweje that you say is an Anglican. Archdeacon Hezekiah Okoro Nweje hails from Onitsha, and he was an Anglican clergyman from Diocese on the Niger. He is known for being quiet, very kind. We are told that Nweje, he loved his parishioners and non-parishioners. He was living, in fact, some books describe Nweje as a living saint. So during his time, he was committed in evangelism. He was committed in preaching the gospel, living a quiet life and a holy life. So when next you hear Holy Nweje, remember that he's an Anglican priest who lived and worked under the diocese on the Niger. So these are the 4 fathers of faith that we celebrated today. Thank you for being part of this class and this teaching today. We apologize again for coming up late. It was due to we had some technical challenge, and when we fixed the technical challenge, some personal logistics held us back. But it will not happen again. It's 4 p.m., not 6 p.m. But today we are 2 hours behind time. Thank you all for being part of the program, and God bless you.